The air in my kitchen was cold, the kind that seeps into your bones. I stood there, holding a crumpled piece of paper, my own handwriting staring back at me, a simple grocery list for a family dinner that would never happen. And in that silent, empty house, a single thought echoed, clear and terrible: I have given my heart to a stranger. My life wasn't always complicated. For years, it was just me and my daughter, Chloe. After her father passed, we built a world for two. It was a small world, filled with library books, budget-friendly meals, and dreams we whispered to each other in the dark. I worked as a paralegal, finding quiet comfort in the order of documents and the stories they held. Chloe was my everything, bright, ambitious, with a smile that could light up our modest living room. We were a team. Then, everything changed. A distant relative I barely remembered left me an inheritance. It wasn't a fortune by some standards, but to us, it was life-altering. It was security. I paid off our debts, bought us a comfortable, light-filled house, and set up a college fund for Chloe's future. I thought the money was a blessing, a reward for all our years of struggle. I saw it as our shared miracle. But slowly, I began to notice a shift in Chloe. The simple pleasures we once shared no longer interested her. Her conversations became dotted with names of brands I didn't recognize, vacations she needed to take with friends. A subtle impatience crept into her voice when I suggested a movie night at home. The fault line was there, hidden under the shiny new surface of our lives, a growing sense of entitlement, a belief that this new wealth was not a gift, but a baseline. The first real crack appeared at her graduation dinner. I had booked her favorite restaurant, the same one we'd gone to for every minor celebration since she was 12. She arrived late, her eyes scanning the room dismissively. "Mom," she said, not even sitting down, "this place is so outdated. My friends are at the new bistro on the waterfront. Can't you just transfer me the money and we'll celebrate another time?" Her words weren't loud or angry. They were casual, as if she was asking for the salt. But they carried the weight of 1,000 small dismissals. I sat there, across from an empty chair, the glow of the candle between us feeling suddenly foolish. The daughter I knew would have cherished this tradition, but the woman sitting before me only saw its price tag. After that, the distance widened into a chasm. She moved into a luxury apartment downtown, funded by the living stipend I foolishly agreed to provide. My calls went unanswered for days, only to be returned with a quick text, "Busy, talk later." The later rarely came. One afternoon, I was tidying her old room when I found a stack of hidden credit card statements, all with my home address. They were filled with charges for designer clothes, expensive spa days, and 5-star hotel stays. My hands trembled. This wasn't the careful, ambitious girl I raised. This was a spending spree masked as living her best life. The final straw was my birthday. I waited all day for a call, a text, anything. It never came. That evening, I saw a social media post. There she was, smiling in a glittering dress, toasting with friends at an exclusive club. The caption read, "Living my truth with my real family." The word real felt like a physical blow. I sat in the dark, the silence of the house a heavy blanket, and realized I was financing my own replacement. The revelation came not with a shout, but with a quiet click of a mouse. I was helping to sort out a tax document for her, accessing a shared folder for her AP. Apartment lease. By accident, I clicked on a different file. It was a draft email, addressed to a financial advisor. The subject line was, "Trust Fund Reallocation Proposal." My blood ran cold as I read. Chloe was petitioning to have the remainder of the inheritance, the part one had carefully invested for both our futures, released to her entirely. Her justification? That I was elderly and risk-averse, and that the money was hindering her growth and potential. She had outlined a business idea, half-formed and reckless. She hadn't discussed it with me, asked for advice, or considered my security. She had simply drawn up a plan to take it. In that moment, the last veil of hope fell away. This wasn't just ingratitude. It was a cold, calculated takeover. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I felt a strange, calm stillness settle over me. I made a pot of tea, and I thought. The next morning, I called my own financial advisor and a trusted lawyer, a friend from my paralegal days. I didn't want revenge. I wanted protection. We reviewed every document, every account. I legally dissolved the shared stipend arrangement. I restructured the investments so they were solely in my name, with a new, ironclad will that designated a portion to a charity supporting single mothers. I changed all my passwords and secured my documents. Each step was methodical, quiet. I was not cutting off my daughter out of anger. I was building a dignified wall to protect what was left of myself. I knew a confrontation was coming, but for the first time in months, I felt steady.